Alright folks, in front of you you have knives. These are not my typical knives that I do videos on. These are more or less EDC knives slash tactical knives, knives that I'd actually carry at work. You guys know what knife I do carry. I like my TL29, but these are some knives that maybe you guys would be more interested in seeing. We have knives that go all the way up to $1,800, all the way to $10 to $12. And then you have some Chinese knives right here. And I'm going to show you why these are an absolute waste of your time to buy. Complete waste of time. Why do knives cost so much, and why do some knives cost not so much? Well, everything is, you get what you pay for when it comes to knives. Now, you're paying for time, you're paying for the different types of materials. When you pay $1,800 for a Rockstead, you're going to expect a nice presentation box, you're going to expect a specification sheet. This one comes with a handmade, beautiful box. It doesn't come with a sheath, which I think it should. But I mean, a knife like this, you're looking at a ZDP 189 internal core that's sandwiched between some ATS 34. It's a very hard material that's sandwiched between a softer material, which is, you're kind of like looking at the samurai sword kind of deal here. You're looking at a knife that's very strong, a knife that's absolutely beautiful. I mean, this thing looks like the tip of a samurai sword. You're looking at a gorgeous knife. Just beautiful. You can see the sandwiching there. These were all hand ground, just beautiful. But $1,800 for a knife, whoa man, are you serious? You are crazy. I mean, you could buy a car for that. You could buy a gun for that. Well, I collect knives. I don't really collect guns. I like knives. Knives are something that I can carry. For me, $1,800 for a knife is too much. I didn't purchase this one for $1,800. You guys know how I work. I put out my dream prices there, and the knives just keep rolling, and then I resell them and all that good stuff. I'm in no hurry to get money, and when people are in no hurry to get money, it's easy for them to make money, because if somebody is looking for $600 really quickly, I will give them that, and I get a nice knife like this. But let's just move on, because most of us are not going to be getting the Rockstead, okay? Now, Chris Reeve's knife, there is a lot of debate between the Chris Reeve knives and the Strider knives. The Strider knives are more for heavy use. The fit and finish on them is not quite as nice. The Chris Reeve's knives win awards all the time. They're easier to carry. They're absolutely beautiful. But who is going to spend $500 on a knife? That's another question. Why purchase one of these over a Benchmade that's in the $200 range that's going to work just as good? Not only that, you're looking at a knife that has a lifetime warranty, a knife that has any issues whatsoever, you can turn it in and you'll get a new one. This is a fine example of that. This particular one I sent into Benchmade because the 440 C blade broke on it. Well, they send me back this knife. I said I wanted a Tonto blade. They gave me a Tonto blade, and it's made out of 154 cm. They took a $40 knife and turned it into a $100 knife for me. That is a really good warranty. That is pretty awesome. This is a beautiful knife. All right. But why would someone go out and pay $500? Well, you have ironwood handles, so you have some beauty there. But at the same time, you have an S30V blade material, which means it's going to hold its edge, it's going to be beautiful for a long time, it's going to get razor sharp, and it's going to perform well all the time. When you open your knife, it's always going to work, it's always going to be sharp. It's just an amazing material. But then again, you have Benchmade knives that are made out of the same material. But the fit and finish on these knives is absolutely beautiful. Take a close look at this particular knife. You have a hollow ground, which I'm not too big of a fan of. Now, they have different models. They have Tonto blades and all that different stuff. You can see you have like a gold thumb stud there. Ironwood inlays. Titanium handle, so it's very light and very strong. The good thing about titanium is titanium doesn't get all the nicks and large damage. Here's a fine example of that. This is aluminum. Aluminum is very light, but it's very soft, and these are not removable. But this knife is made to use, and everybody knows I love my 2550. You're looking at about $150 for the automatic. Alright, when you get an automatic knife, you're going to expect to pay automatically about $100 to $50 more than what the knife is actually worth. A good example of that is the Benchmade 520, which non-auto is $175. Auto, you're looking at about $250. So when you look at something that's an automatic, you're paying a lot of money. I really like this too. It's the axis lock, but you pull back on this axis and it just pops right on out. This is a really cool knife. A little too big for me to carry, and being an automatic, you can't flip it back. So I'm not really a big fan of automatics. You have the axis lock, which is just as fast, right? And you want to close it, you just close it. This is a non-automatic. The axis lock, in my opinion, is one of the best locking systems out there. It's faster, in my opinion, than an automatic. It makes it one-handed operation. You can open it in multiple directions. It's just a really good locking system. You can operate it with gloves on. So in my opinion, one of the best locking systems out there is your axis lock. That's just my opinion. I have a lot of knives that are axis locks. Alright, this is a Benchmade 710. You're looking at about $150. When the knife came out, you were looking at about $100. This is made out of D2. The price of this knife has gone up due to its popularity. This is a really large knife. I actually got this from ATF. He also has a large YouTube channel and does some really cool videos. I'll put a link below for his channel. I won this in one of his competitions that he does. He has some really cool stuff that he does. You guys should subscribe to his channel. Check him out. Here's another Benchmade. I won this Benchmade actually. This is a Benchmade Adams. You're looking at about 170 bucks. This knife is probably the strongest knife out of the bunch. You're looking at skeletonized stainless steel liners, G10 on the outside, axis lock again, which makes it really strong. You've got some really nice jimping here. I know a lot of people love that jimping. Alright, one channel has made jimping probably the most popular thing in the universe. You're looking at D2, so it gets really sharp. It's nice tool steel. I'm a big fan of D2. It's really great. You can see the skeletonized handles in there to make it a little bit lighter. The balance is nice. You know, you got some really nice balance there. This knife actually comes with a really nice locking system and nice sheath also. So you're looking at a knife that comes with a nice system. Right? You can clip it onto your vest or your backpack. Really nice. Really cool knife. Highly recommend it. So we'll just go down the line a little bit here. So we have our Chris Reeves, really light, really nice knife. Probably the best balanced knife out of all these. Until you handle a Chris Reeves, you won't understand why people will pay $500 for a knife. When it comes to custom knives, in my opinion, Chris Reeves knives are probably the best to look at. You're looking at $500 and you're looking at a knife that'll last you the rest of your life. I mean, if you're a person that doesn't lose his knives and his pins and all that stuff, you really cannot go wrong with a Chris Reeves Sabenza. You cannot. This is the smaller one. This is the 21. They have a larger model. I feel that this one, the smaller one, is absolutely perfect. It is, I give this out of 10 stars. I'd give this a straight up 10. You have a Strider. I'd put these probably in the 6 range. 6 stars out of 10. Reason being is this knife is just gigantic. It really is. It's huge. I would never carry something like this. but it's a fantastic backpack knife or camp knife. It's got a really nice strong locking system, just outstanding, and you can see the difference between the size and the beefiness. Strider knives, I believe that their locking system is probably the best. They have a really nice stopper in here, and it's very secure. They really have some nice ways of attaching the blade to the handle also. Strider has actually gone up, and this is an older Strider, but the newer Striders have actually larger attachment screws to compete with their competition here, Strider. Strider and Sebenza, they're just neck and neck. They go head to head. This actually has an NSN number, and Strider does a lot of work with our military. I met him at one of our trade shows, and he does some fantastic work for our Navy SEALs and Special Forces. Strider, to compete with Chris Reeves, he actually came out with what's called the Strider Baby Huey. You can get these knives for anywhere between $300 and $375. You're looking at CPM, S35VN. He's really big on the exotic metals, and he does a really good job at it. G10 titanium handle, so you're looking at a knife that's pretty light. It's got some really nice decorative filing going on here. The handle's absolutely beautiful. I love this G10 on this particular knife. It's got some really nice decorative patterning on the back. You can see the Sebenza rides really low in your pocket, and so does the Baby Huey. This one will ride a little bit higher, but it's meant to ride a little bit higher because you want to be able to grab this with gloves. This knife is made for people with gloves. This is a real workhorse. All right. The Baby Huey is a really good choice for an EDC, but I would have to say the Chris Reeves by far is the nicer and more. This is your iPhone of knives right here, to give you guys an idea. This is definitely your Galaxy or your Samsung. All right, you're looking at a more powerful knife, but you're looking at a knife that's not quite as well polished as your Chris Reeves. All right, here's a really nice Spyderco. These are actually discontinued. This is your Spyderco Embassy. These run in the $200 range. It's got a nice little button here. These are automatics. Just beautiful. I do believe these come with axis locks, but this is a really good choice also when it comes to automatic knives. Spyderco makes probably some of the best knives out there, in my opinion. There's no knife out there like it. Their opening systems, their fit and finish is just incredible. Really nice. We already took a look at the Benchmade Presidio. Very nice choice. Really nice big handle. A real big workhorse. It's really good for someone that's in the military and wears gloves. This is a Bradley Alias. This is $175. Now this is made by Benchmade, and this was their answer to competing with Chris Reeves. Chris Reeves, you got to understand, has won so many awards. His knife actually comes with a spec sheet, and it's signed by him. It'll tell you what it's made out of, because you can order these knives and basically order them to how you'd like. Just a really good choice of knives to get it actually. Whoops. We'll go back to that Spyderco really quick. That Spyderco comes with some important legal stuff. It tells you exactly who's allowed to have this. It states the Federal Switchblade Act, and you basically something that you can print and sign. They don't want this to end up in the wrong people's hand, basically. This is a really nice knife. It's got a really nice little locking system there. Just really cool. Very well made knife. Very well made. Well, the Sebenza over here comes with an Allen key. Comes with a small leather pouch, something you could slip it into and throw it in your pocket. And then it comes in this cardboard box that basically has some of his awards that he's won. He's just dominated the blade show for the longest time. But this Bradley, this thing's almost identical to the Sabinza. A lot of people want to argue that this knife is a good alternative, that it's just as good. It also has an S30V blade. It also has some phosphorus, I think I said that right, bushings in there, so it doesn't get all scratched up. You have your titanium handle. It's basically, it mimics the Sabinza almost down to the T with how it's manufactured. Is it better than the Sabinza? No. It is not. The blade shape that it has here, it definitely makes it a stronger blade than the Sabinza, but the Sabinza is a better cutter and just an all-around better knife. You cannot compete with the Sabinza when it comes to price for what you get. The Sabinza is really well priced for what you get. So I would highly recommend anybody that's serious about knives to pick one of these up. You will not be sorry, and I'll bet my reputation on it. The Benchmade 2550, one of the best knives out there, just absolutely gorgeous. Actually, Benchmade threw my name on it and sent me out another blade. They are really cool and very supportive of my channel, and I just want to thank them for that. Here is something a little bit more traditional, Moki knives. This is in the $150 range, but you can actually pick these up for about $100 in the bone handles. The current versions come with more or less a Velcro sheath looking thing. The old Mokis came with a nice leather sheath, all leather, and just a beautiful way to keep your knife safe. Highly recommend these. For someone that's looking for something a little bit more traditional, these are fantastic. It's got a really strong locking system. The fit and finish is up there with any of these custom knives. Japanese made knives are just incredible. This is beautiful. It's made out of ATS 34, a super steel, and I would highly recommend this. If you like the way it looks and you like the less tactical feel, but you want a classic, more of a classic look, I would highly recommend these Mokis. Mokis make some awesome knives. They make some neck knives also. It's a great present for your wife. For $50, you can get a small Moki knife that has pearl inlays, and it's a beautiful, beautiful knife to maybe give to your wife or your girlfriend to get her involved in the knife world. Here's an old Spyderco, and this is Spyderco Wagner Jr. These you can still find, they're discontinued, but I just wanted to throw this in there. This is a very popular Spyderco. When they first came out, you were looking at about the $100 range. Now these things are about $150. All right, Spyderco knives really maintain their value well, and they're very collectible. So if you do have an old Spyderco, check it out. Look it up on eBay, and you might be surprised that the knife is worth more than you purchased it for. This is a Benchmade 710. I've already demonstrated how awesome this locking system is. Highly recommend this knife. Just a fantastic knife. It's got a very tactical feel to it, and for those of you that live in states that you can't carry guns in, this would be a very good alternative to that. You're looking at a knife that's really good for self-defense, got some good jimping on it, so I'd highly recommend that for this. Doesn't have as much utility as a knife like the Spyderco, or something with that type of blade shape that faces down. So you don't have that slicing ability, but you do have that stabbing ability and that intimidation factor with this particular knife. Highly recommend it. The Benchmade Griptilian, you can pick these up for the $40. This one happens to be purple. I picked this one up for $5 at a garage sale. I could highly recommend these knives. These are some of the best knives that Benchmade makes. These are your Griptilians. Highly recommend them. That's one of these knives that I think everybody should have at least one of them. Just beautiful. Again, if you want something that's a little bit more gentleman-like, but will function very well, this is Makusta. You're looking at about $120 for this. The entire thing is Damascus. Absolutely beautiful knife. Just gorgeous. Let's take a close look at this. Just beautiful. You're looking at a smaller knife, a knife that's actually pretty tough because it has some good quality Damascus in it. It'll get razor sharp, and you're looking at another knife that's made in Japan. This particular one comes with a pretty cool little Asian sheath there. Nothing that you'd probably use, but it's kind of cool. Something maybe you could give to your girlfriend after you purchase this knife and say, hey, you know, why don't you put your lipstick in this? Comes in a little cardboard box. All right. Your case has some really good steel. This is Case's CV steel. I can highly recommend this particular model, but you're looking at the $80 range. Case, come on. Other than the Tony Bose series, I can't really recommend Case knives. For the amount of money that you'd spend on something like this, you can get one of these other options that I showed you. But the Case CV is some pretty good steel that gets pretty sharp. This is S-Wing, made by EKA. This is a Scandig stainless steel. This stuff gets razor sharp. It doesn't look like much, but this is a pretty nice knife. I can highly recommend these. So look up EKA. They make some really nice knives, and I can highly recommend this particular brand. Alright, so we've looked at all these. You're looking at anywhere from $50 to $1,800. So, alright, still you're looking at a knife that's not quite as expensive. Alright, so over here you have your Chinese knives. You're looking at $15 to $20. All these broke within, I have some videos out there. These particular knives broke within 2 minutes of a video doing simple tasks that any knife would be asked to do. Absolute garbage. They completely came apart. They stopped working. I think this one goes all the way back. If I remember, yeah. See, this one goes all the way back. I was just using it for normal, just junk. Just absolute junk. Do not waste your money on Chinese knives. The American companies have done very well. Chinese knives will trick you too. I mean, here's one that's got some really nice stag on it. Just beautiful, it looks like, right? You know, you got this really nice blade. It's going to cut really well. But you'll be using this, and out of the blue, it will fail in a manner that just surprises the hell out of you. And you're just like, what just happened there? That's a Chinese knife. That's what a Chinese knife will do. It will fail at the wrong time. This one actually has half stops. It is really a pretty cool knife. You're looking at $20 for this thing, you know, but it's going to fail on you. It's not going to last you very long. It's going to start falling apart. It's not going to lock up the way it should. It's going to start wobbling, and you basically just wasted 20 bucks when you could have purchased one of these for $30 or $40, American made, Benchmade, Spyderco, or whatever. And these are all knives that'll last you the rest of your lives. These, you know what I'm saying? These are all knives that you can pass down to your friends and family. Here's a nice Schrade. I have these on my website, a matter of fact, and you're looking at $10 to $12 for these. These things get razor sharp. They're made by Schrade, and they're not going to come apart. They got a really good quality rivet that holds them together. I highly recommend these. Simple but cheap but well-made knives. Here's another Schrade. You're looking at about 10 bucks for this. Doesn't look like much, but it's American made, and I can recommend these also. For 10 bucks, you really can't go wrong. Probably your best deal here, and probably your best hard use knife, are these Schrade. Alright, these Schrades, these 6OTs, really nice knives, come with an awesome blade on them, just beautiful, really sharp, well made, lockup's good, fit and finish is good. The discoloration is just patina. You can polish that off if you want. It will literally take you 10 minutes taking a little polishing compound. I myself leave the patina on and leave it up to you guys. All you need to do to remove that stuff is use a little bit of this polishing compound and a rag, and it'll get as bright as, you know, solid gold. But myself, I like the patina. I don't mess with it, and I leave it on there. It's an older knife. These knives were made in the 80s and 90s, and I can highly recommend them. They come with a really nice leather sheath, you know, that's made to use. This is a fantastic workhorse. So you're looking at $35, I think, or $30 for these. Highly recommend them. Highly. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between what you get. 35, you know, 45. Okay? 35, 75. You know what I'm saying? 35, you know, 90, 80, $100. These case. Come on, guys. You really can't beat it. You know, whoops. You know, 100, 35. You know, these knives get razor sharp. They maintain their edge. You really can't go wrong with these. So if you're looking for a nice workhorse, check out these on my website. You get a few of them and I might give you a deal too. So if you get like 2 or 3, I might knock off $5. Alright, so just drop me an email from my store and ask me about that, and I can work a deal with these. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It took me a lot of effort to make this. Please thumb it up. I hope it gives you guys some ideas of some knives that I recommend, and some knives that can really last you a lifetime. And that's about it. Y'all take care. Peace out. And excuse me, gosh darn, this video, I'm telling you, has been a nightmare trying to make. Now I got the hiccups.